There we go. There's Facebook. Good morning, you guys. It's good to see you. Kirsten Liebelt here. So here we go. Another day, you guys, where we get to talk about insulin resistance because it's such a sexy topic. I know. But I have something for you today that I think will really help you. So if you're in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, today is Pantry and Refrigerator Day, FYI, just so that you know. And so don't miss that. That'll be at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time this afternoon. And no sign up required. You just show up. However, if you want to get in the group, make sure you give the email. We'll know you're not a bot. I do not sell names. That's how you get in. But it's Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And every day we go live here Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. unless it's a holiday or I'm out of town because I'm not always on vacation, but I do travel for business. Anyway, any hoodle. So that's really important for you to know, though. And the reason why it's important is because I know that there are a lot of people who see content because of reels, but they have no clue that there's this entire ecosystem of free help. Like people just don't know what they don't know. So I have to tell you so that you know. How does that sound? Okay, Magda, good morning. I think I have a message to send to you, Magda. I know I do. I looked up some information on that chili oil. She was asking me about like a chili oil from a Chinese restaurant being like a seed oil. And you can think of it two different ways, Magda. You can be like, you know what? Oh well, I'm just gonna use it because it's amazing, and I just maybe won't buy that one again. There's no question it's going to be a seed oil, right? And I don't control every single piece of my life. Like when I go out to eat, I know they're frying in seed oils. Like if I have a hamburger, unless I go someplace specific. So I already know that. So sometimes it's kind of like maybe there's a sparingly thought process and whatever. I just don't like to be super duper religious. Unless somebody knows something is definitely triggering results that they don't like on a CGM or something, then of course, you have to pay attention. But otherwise, you know what? I don't know, sparingly. Maybe you just enjoy it. I don't know. But that's my thought process. Patty, good morning, sweet lady. Alonia, you're excited for Pantry Day? So am I. It's actually one of they're all kind of my favorite for different reasons, but I like this one because I'm a visual person. So if you're a visual person, you need you're like, what does it look like in somebody else's pantry that used to look like the Crisco white flour, white sugar, insanity, whatever pantry. So we'll do something a little different. All right, today, this is what I want to do. I want to talk about many of you reach out to me and you talk about how oh, you're discouraged because you gained 5 pounds or whatever. And the scale kind of shows you whatever. But if we can understand a little bit about the connection between puffiness that is in your body, it's not as simple as, you might be retaining water because it's, we always think in terms of oh, it's time for your cycle or whatever. And we do still cycle, even though we don't have, our actual cycles anymore. But whatever, some of you might be in perimenopause. I'm talking to some of you in your 40s too, behind the scenes, right? But it's not always just that. So let's make the insulin connection, because again, when you understand why, you will become more consistent in the things that you're doing. Okay, let's do it. So, okay, Magda, you're so sweet. I just love you. Okay, let's go to our information that I have set aside for you for today. So you know what? Sometimes you're just feeling really puffy. You're feeling bloated, like your rings won't fit. And sometimes it might just be humidity, but sometimes it is your insulin talking. And you have to recognize when your body is talking to you and trying to give you signs. We're not supposed to ignore them, and we're not supposed to just medicate everything. We're supposed to ask, why is that there? Why is that happening, right? So maybe you didn't even know that this was a part of the process of insulin resistance. So we're just going to talk about it. So, sometimes we're like, okay, I'm just going to avoid salt. I'm just going to avoid salt. That's what it is. I'm going to do that. But your face still looks fuller. And you're like, what's going on? Or you wake up and you step on the scale and it's the same number, but your pants feel tighter. And you're like, what the heck? Why is that? Maybe you drink more water because you're told that it will help, which we want to drink more water, right. But now you feel like a balloon and it's not setting right with you. And you're like, what's going on? Okay. Well, most people will blame salt. This is very common. We've been very indoctrinated to believe this way. And we have to, we do better when we know better. Okay. So most people will blame salt, but the bigger culprit is actually high insulin. How many of you knew that there was a connection between puffiness, bloating, and high insulin? Like, this isn't just random. Did anybody know this already? I'd love to know. Thank you for joining on TikTok. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you very, very much. And make sure that, share this information out if you feel like it's helpful, like it, tap the screen or subscribe or whatever. If you feel like this is something that is helpful for you, or maybe it's something that you want to remember in the future, etc. And on Facebook, I just have to always say this once in a while anyway, everything is deleted after 30 days. So you have to go over to YT. I shouldn't have, I can't comply on TikTok. I say all the platforms and then it just is what it is. But if you go on my YouTube, you can subscribe over there and not worry about missing out on replays because they changed the game. Okay. So you blame salt, but it's high insulin. Your body is holding onto water and sodium because of high insulin. So you may have not known that. This is another reason why, like, for people who start on the trio, which is just the very foundation of what I talk about in supplementation, 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. The reason why you immediately feel like it's helping you with, like, maybe even, some of that bloat and whatever, even though it's not, none of the supplements are specifically for that, because it's bringing down your insulin. And insulin is a hormone and nobody's talking to you about it. They're only talking to you about your sugars. Okay. So when insulin stays high, it slows your lymphatic system. And you know that your lymphatic system, I didn't know this until I knew it, but your lymphatic system does not move unless you move. So this is why people are doing vibration plates and rebounders. And I get up in the mornings and I walk and things like that, right? So you have to get your lymphatic system moving. But when insulin is staying high all the time, and remember, we've been talking on our lives about how when you snack and snack and snack all day long, you're just raising your insulin all day long. And when it stays high, it's slowing down your lymphatic system. It's like, and you don't want that, right? That's why you feel swollen and not just bloated. You actually feel swollen, right? So I've always talked about, like, if I had to do it all over again, losing the 3 sizes in my 50s, things that I wish that I wouldn't have known, had known. I wish that this is one of them that I would have known and understood. But the reason why is this, because we are very attached to a number on a scale. We're very driven by, like, if we wake up and we're puffy or our jeans are tight or whatever, and we're not allowing our body to just kind of do its own thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we make snap decisions on how we're feeling in the moment. And usually it's a negative decision. Like, screw it. I'm just going to go and eat all that, whatever. I'm just going to, whatever. This is exhausting. I can't get this right. Nothing works, all of those things. And I feel like this is one of those factors that really plays into that. So that puffiness that you are makes you feel like you are gaining fat overnight, but you're not. You're not gaining fat. It's your body sending you an early warning sign. And if you listen, you can turn things around faster. Did you know this? Oh, I want people to know this. Hold on. I want to see what I'm missing. Kim is here. Nice to see you, Kim. Cindy, good to see you. And I hope I see people this afternoon too for the pantry. and refrigerator stuff inside the group. That would be great. So here are some things that you can do just to kind of help you like depuff and think in terms of like, okay, how can I, number one, you have to get your insulin down, right? And that's what I talk about all the time with supplementation, et cetera. But there are other things that you can be doing just to kind of help your body, like help itself, right? So do a morning reset drink. Like, if acid bothers you, don't do lemon water. Okay. But what you can do is you can do a tall glass of filtered water with a pinch of sea salt or electrolytes. One of the electrolytes that I really like is LMNT, element. So it's capital L, capital M, get it? Capital N, capital T. And it's sugar-free. And those are really good electrolytes that you could put in there. There's another brand called Salt Tea. Salt Tea. I need to put those on my Amazon list, don't I? I haven't done that. Both of those are good. They have good ingredients. I like taking the ones like Element does ones that are chocolate and caramel. And so it is salty, right? Because that's what you're doing. But when you heat it, like in the winter, I'm in Minnesota. That's wonderful. Anyway, but it helps to flush, helps to balance your sodium, your potassium, supports your insulin sensitivity. That's number one. Number two, cold face or hand rinse. Splash cold water on your face or soak your hands in cold water for like 30 seconds. It's a quick depuff and it stimulates lymphatic drainage because you want the drainage. You know, like when you do like gua sha and you're moving the puffiness, you're moving the toxins kind of up, out, and down the side if you've ever done any of that. So this is kind of moving your lymphatic drainage as well. Elevated sleep, use an extra pillow or a slight incline at night. You could do that. Helps the fluid drain overnight instead of pooling in your face and hands. Okay. You could do a 10-minute, we talked about this one yesterday, a 10-minute post-meal walk. That is actually does wonders for instantly decreasing the insulin spike after eating. Really, really good tip right there. So it's the easiest insulin hack you can do without equipment. The easiest insulin hack without equipment. It signals your body to use glucose instead of storing it. And it creates less puffiness. I don't know if people knew that. Okay. Dry brushing or gentle massage. So dry brushing, say that 5 times fast, stimulates lymphatic flow, creating less swelling. If you pair that with Epsom salt bath for magnesium support, that's even better. Like if you do a bunch of dry brushing, and you can buy them off of Amazon, I should go find one for you guys. And you can start like at your ankles and come up your body and kind of go towards, I believe it's towards your heart, right? And you dry brush before you get into the bath. All right. And it's stimulating your lymphatic flow, and then get into a warm bath of like Epsom salts. And if you've never done Epsom salt baths, you guys, it's a magnesium bath. Like, and your skin is your biggest organ. My dad, okay, so maybe you don't know my story, but my dad died of type 2 diabetes at 63, and I was 30 at the time. And I was gestational when I was 22. I grew up with, he was insulin dependent, shooting his belly with insulin twice a day heart problems, kidney dialysis. He did all of it, and his health just tanked. His whole entire 50s, the decade of his 50s pretty much sucked. I mean, his health was just decreasing and decreasing and decreasing all the time. It was ridiculous. And just more meds, less function, more meds, less, that was his whole life. And so when he would have all the sores on his legs that wouldn't heal as his type 2 was progressing, he would do Epsom salt foot baths. So it was so common. I mean, I can't even tell you, like, I just assumed everybody's family was doing this, a bowl of warm water with Epsom salts, and he would sit and he would roll up his pants and put his feet in there and maybe watch some Kojak, Hawaii 5-0. You can tell what I was raised on. He was such a TV Tommy. Anyway, and his name was not Tommy. Anyway, that was just a rhyme. So I know I'm cracking you up. He basically was doing Epsom salt foot soaks all the time for his body. So do an Epsom salt bath. You might really like it. So that with dry brushing. And then of course I talk all the time about getting a good 30 plus grams of protein that does not spike your sugar before noon. So remember, what do I teach with food? No grain, no sugar, no legume, but you can still be a foodie. We'll do a recipe at the end of this week for you guys who are in the group. We'll do a recipe, right? We'll do something fun. I mean, that's just what we do. So 30 grams of protein that does not spike your sugars before noon. It will stabilize your blood sugar. It will make you feel full and satiated and balanced and strong. I can't even tell you. There's no sugar spike. There's no sugar crash. It's amazing. So I did not eat before today. Usually I do, but I didn't because I went walking and then I had to take my husband on an errand and I got back and I had to jump on and talk to y'all. So when I get done, I'll probably have like 3 eggs and a chicken sausage. That's Italian from Aldi's. I think I had that the other day too. And if I have like an Oikos 000 yogurt, I'll throw that in there. I'll get like 40 to 45 grams of protein. And then I don't have to think about food for hours. Now, it doesn't mean I don't think about food. I'm going to back off on that. Doesn't mean I don't think about food. It just means that I don't have any hunger like for hours, and you want to be able to go 4 to 5 hours without eating. That means no snacking and no calling on insulin. Just another bad piece of advice that we had been given, right? So you're anchoring your meal, right? It steadies your insulin early. It's less water retention during the day. Like this is a hack to help with all that puffiness. And then the healthy snacks, that we think are healthy. And we talked about those actually this week also. We have been sold up the freaking river by marketing. Acai bowls, and they're so healthy. Not if you're insulin resistant, they're not. Because if you are insulin resistant, that has way too much sugar for you. Granola bars, they're just candy. All that grain, it's just really bad for you. So once we eliminate the grain, the sugar, and the legumes, man, your life gets so much easier. I'm telling you, it's like by the time you're done transitioning your pantry, you have freedom. You feel freedom in your life, because it doesn't mean you've given up the things that you love. You've just found a different way to make them. And it doesn't mean that you stopped overnight emotionally eating and stress eating and anxiety eating and boredom eating. But those will get better over time. Those don't have to be fixed overnight. You just change what you're eating in those moments, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. That's why I have people who are like, I'm doing my 16th challenge. What does that mean then? Translate that. If somebody is doing their 16th challenge this month with me, that means they've been doing this for 16 months. So they had a long-term vision. They gave themselves permission for the journey. Are you tracking with that? You have to give yourself permission. If you are requiring your body to give you a quick fix, if you're requiring your body to like produce right now, otherwise screw it, I'm sorry. You're probably not going to achieve your goals. You're probably not going to get off of medicine, maybe, right? You're probably not. You have to actually give yourself permission for the journey. You have to be willing to invest in yourself and decide that you are actually worth the investment, whether that's changing out your foods, targeting your supplementation, both. You're going to have to wake up and say, I am not just going to be a caregiver of everybody else anymore. I'm going to take care of me. And not everybody on here is a caregiver. Not everybody on here is a people pleaser. But I know that for me, I had to say in my head to all of the food pushers and all of the food downright bullies in my world, because there were a lot of them, talk to the hand. And I had to learn how to be like, nope, I'm good. Thanks. I'm not hungry right now. Thanks anyway. So that they would leave me alone. So you have to learn these things for yourself. And while you do, because that takes time, remember this, I always tell you, this is easy, super duper easy. Doing the supplements, piece of cake. Dealing with this mindset, stories that have been told to you since your childhood, things that you believe that are true that are not true, those are the things that mess you up. Those are when you actually start to unbelieve a few things like eat less, move more. Oh, that actually isn't good advice. I mean, should I eat less and move more? Sure. But what are the actual key components of eating for somebody who's insulin resistant? I mean, honestly, the things that they've told us, the food pyramid, all of the pieces, any hoodle. So getting rid of those healthy snacks, or even sometimes a lot of the keto foods, they're just marketing to you, and you have to be the person to decipher the difference so that you can actually get results. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your body to give you results, just like you want your vehicle to give you results. If you want your vehicle to actually produce better gas mileage, there are things you have to do. If you want your body to actually function and give you something in return for what you're giving your body, then you're going to maybe have to change what you're giving your body. And it's mentally and physically and spiritually and emotionally, and the words that you speak. You have to create an ecosystem in your body. I hope that makes sense. So those are just some home kind of tips and tricks that you can do to really help stop the puffiness and the bloating, because it's actually connected to having high insulin. So there are so many different symptoms that you know about, or that are happening to you, that you think are just the way it is. You've already chalked it up to, well, I'm just getting older. It is what it is. And you have not made the connections yet. So nobody has ever told you, okay, if you want to lose weight, if you want to, Melissa, thank you. She says, good information. You're welcome. Very interesting, says Maria Lane. I like that name, Maria Lane. The scales are finally moving, Patty. Are you serious? 10 pounds. That is terrific. I'm so excited for you, Patty. I'm so excited. And so yesterday I had shared a testimony. Does anybody want to hear like a really cool testimony? I shared a really cool testimony. And this is the testimony. Hold on, I need to take that one off again. I'm so excited. The testimony is that, so she's actually on here, and she gave herself permission for her own journey, and she's type 2 and she checks her sugars. And over the last year, as she's been positioning her body, she did the total body reset. Okay. So I'll just tell you that right up front. She didn't do only the trio. She did the total body reset. So you need to know that, full disclosure. Okay. And I can show you what that is in a minute. But over the last year, she has not only lost inches off of her body, she lost 6 from under her bra, 5 from her waist, 3 from her hips. That's a lot. Anybody measuring? Anybody? You should be measuring. When you're doing this, you need to be measuring. If you have the orange pixie stick as any part of your program with me, you should be measuring. Her A1C dropped a full point. Her MRI on her fatty liver went from bad to mild. This is over the course of a year. And she dropped 17 pounds. Now, if her fatty liver went from bad to mild, and your liver is what governs pretty much everything in your body, and she's already seeing those results, do you think her body is now going to give her better and more results or less results now that she's getting her inside fixed? It's obvious. It's obvious. So the reason why I bring this up again is because Patty just said the scale is finally moving. So what does that mean? So Patty, when did you start? Like, has it been 60 days? Has it been 30 days? What that means is that she didn't start her supplementation and food tweaking, and overnight she dropped 10 pounds, jazz hands. No, her body had to get positioned to actually release fat. We don't want to just lose water weight, you guys. Come on. All that bloating and all that puffiness. Seriously? If like anybody can like start the cabbage soup diet. Anybody can like do the grapefruit diet, whatever those, I remember doing them. I don't remember the details, but oy vey, right? Anybody can do that and drop water overnight. That's not what we're talking about. Okay. That's not what you're looking for as a result. You want fat to be released from your body. So what if her 17 pounds that's actually showing on the scale, but all of those inches, that's actually because she was targeting visceral fat. That's actually what you want to lose. And there are two things that will keep you from losing fat on your body. If you have followed my content for any length of time, you know what they are. What are the two reasons why you cannot lose fat off of your body? Can anybody actually name them? I don't know if you can. Maybe you can. Judith! Good to see you, Judy. Good to see you. The two reasons why is because if you have high insulin, number one, and you probably don't even know that you do because they're not taking a fasting insulin test. Thank you, Cheryl, for jumping on my TikTok and tapping that screen. I appreciate you. They're not taking fasting insulin tests. And if they are, then you know what? You're really blessed if you're getting fasting insulin tests. Or maybe they just never mentioned it and it's actually on your labs. And if you go back to your labs, maybe you'll see it. If you have high insulin, no fat burning. If you have a sluggish liver, no fat burning. What did she do? Well, her MRI says that her fatty liver went from bad to mild. Got it? She's functioning. Her liver is functioning. Her insulin's coming down. Everybody's ship looks a little different. Stop comparing you to somebody else's ship and turning it around. Stop it. But you do have to have this thought process that you're going to go inside your body. You're going to raise the function of your liver. You're going to decrease the amount of your insulin that's being released because your cell is just all the time. And you're thinking, why am I so hungry all the time? Why am I so tired all the time? And you feel like you are stuck in a loop. And you are. And you are. So that's why I have my free protein blueprint to help you understand like the protein formula, the chart, all those things. And then I talk to you about supplementation. So I'm going to show you what she was using, which is the Total Body Reset. And a lot of you asked me for emails yesterday to email you, and I did. If you asked me yesterday, I actually sent you a little personalized video with all of the information that you wanted. But the Total Body Reset, now remember, if you're a registered customer and you take advantage of that customer campaign, every month that you purchase $150 or more, on that third month, you get $75 off. So don't overlook that. Don't overlook that. Somebody had just recently told me, Alonia, high insulin. Yes. Good job. She just got her second $75 off because you can repeat it. Nobody else out there is paying you to get healthy right now. Just telling you. Nobody else is rewarding you. It just, like, we're such a backwards society. It's so dumb. Like, why wouldn't we be rewarded? Like HSA and insurance and stuff. So the trio is what I started with. These are the three supplements that have the three ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is what fully supported me in losing my 3 sizes in my 50s. I didn't have the other things. I didn't have 2 of the other things I'm going to tell you about. You guys have such a much better opportunity because of what I've sourced from the line and from the sports nutrition line. You have such a much better opportunity. But this is where liver, insulin, sugars, and metabolism. That's the trio, okay? That's the first pillar, the first part. The second one is the gut primer with a probiotic, okay? You've got to get your gut healed and sealed. You've got to get that inflammation down, down, down. And the benefits that you will receive from that are your nutrient absorption will increase, which only helps you about 1,000,000 times. You're probably dealing with stuff in your body because you're leaking nutrients. You don't even know it, but insulin resistance causes leaky gut. And this is liver health. Okay. So it looks like this. It's a green powder, smells like tea, tastes like tea. I don't sip it because I don't love tea, but I put it in cold water and I just froth it and I take it like a wellness shot every single morning. Every single morning I do that. And then my probiotic, I already took this morning. Put it on your tongue, 5 live strands. So this is the second part of the total body reset. And you can have the thought process, like be a creative thinker for yourself. Be your own assessor. As I talk about this, you decide where you start. You decide what you need the most now. You don't have to do exactly what she did. She just chose to do that for the last year to get the results that she has. But sometimes people just want to kind of like try a little whatever because it's what they need the most right now. That's okay, right? 6-month guarantee on all the products. All right, so this is the visceral fat targeter. Literally changes your BMI, literally changes your body composition. Can you imagine? Like, close your eyes right now and imagine yourself with 6 inches less under your bra, 5 inches off your waist, and 3 inches off your hips. Think about that for yourself. That's what this one does. So it's targeting your visceral fat, and you put it on your tongue. Tastes like candy, just like when you're a kid. And put on your tongue for 90 days every day. It doesn't matter when you do it. There's no caffeine in it, nothing weird. It's actually coming out of the sports nutrition line. So it's meant for people who you could use it as a pre-workout if you want to. But my point being, do 90 days, take 30 days off. Then do 90 days and take 30 days off. You can just do rounds like that. But what you're doing is you're making sure that your body doesn't get too used to it because it is a thermogenic. Okay. So cellular level. This is what we're talking about. When I talk about all of this, we're talking about a cellular level and helping the actual hormonal conversation that you're needing to have in order to lose weight. We really pounded that on Monday in the group because this is not a calorie in, calorie out conversation for those of you that are trying to lose weight. This is a hormonal conversation. Insulin is a freaking hormone. And if you cannot get your insulin down, you will not burn fat. This is not like, if you drink my special tea, whatever, I don't even know what I'm trying to say because I don't pay attention to a lot of other marketing necessarily, but this isn't magic. There's no magic. I don't have anything that causes us to dance in the streets. I have long-term sustainable understanding of changing the way your body is functioning so that it will actually produce results for you. It'll actually lay them up for you. Oh, thank you for helping my liver to function. I will now release fat. Thank you for bringing my insulin down. I will now release fat. Or thank you for helping me with my gastrointestinal tract. I will now move that impacted waste through your body. I mean, these are the things that we want. You know, it's the little things in life that we want. I have somebody who has short gut syndrome, and she was like, you know, I don't know if she was exaggerating or not, but she's like, you know, for years, diarrhea 15 times a day, like running to the bathroom. Very nervous about starting that little gut primer. But do you know that when that shifted the way her body gave her results, she was a very happy camper. Very happy, because you know how disruptive these things are for us, right? when you feel like you can't even chew a piece of gum and you're bloated like you're 4 months pregnant. You are running to the bathroom all the time, or you wish you could go to the bathroom. Whatever it is for you, or your cravings are so out of control. You're like, oh my gosh, if I do not get, Patty, I love you. I'm going to put that up there. If I do not get sugar right now, I'm just craving my carbs so bad. I'm just craving I must be such a freaking loser. I just don't have any discipline. It's just me. I've never been able to do it before. I'll never be able to do it now. Like, I'm just screwed. This is just me. I'm just an addict. I'm just a lame loser addict. And I want to tell you, stop. Let me explain to you, Patty, I love you. She says, I absolutely love this journey. So happy you just fire me up, Patty. You are not broken. I'm going to wrap up with this, and then I'm going to see you at 3:00 in the group. Okay. You're not broken. Your cravings are there for a reason. It's actually a sign. I'll tell this to you quickly. They're having a hard time sharing to Facebook. So if you're not seeing it, I'm sorry. When you spike your sugars all the time and you call on insulin, and insulin goes to get the sugar to put it into your cell, and your cell door is closed, and it can't get the insulin and the sugar into the cell, this is why you're exhausted. This is why your body then says, oh, I need fast energy. Gimme. And the cravings go up. Because what's fast energy? Like, if you drink apple juice, it goes straight into your veins. Like, that'll wake you up faster than caffeine. Your body just goes, whoa, because of all that sugar, right? So you're craving sugar for a reason. It's actually a sign. But the sign is not that you are a lame loser. The sign is that your body is trying to communicate with you. It needs something, and it wants you to get it for it. Okay? But bloating is a sign. Puffiness is a sign. Being exhausted all the time is a sign. Waking up at 2 a.m. is a sign. Being constipated is a sign. All of these things. The belly fat, the distended belly that you feel like you have, either because you're bloated or because all of a sudden all your weight gain is in your belly. Think in terms of visceral fat. Think in terms of liver, around your organs. I'm just telling you, your body is trying to communicate with you, but it was created to heal. So we walk the journey. So when Patty comes along and she says, I absolutely love this journey, it's because it is literally setting you free if you will let it set you free. Stop being so cynical. It's so easy to do, though. We've been lied to for so long. It's hard, and I get it. But try hard not to be so cynical, and then give yourself the gift of assessing yourself so that you can stop sabotaging yourself and stop being mean to yourself, because you cannot heal a body that you hate. You have to literally, like Patty, love your journey. And at first, when you don't see results, don't stop. At least be nice enough to your body to give it a half a second to begin to heal. Because your ship has to turn around, and your ship might be bigger than somebody else's. And I've given that analogy so many times about taking that Alaskan cruise, and we went into Glacier Bay, and that big honking ship has to turn around on a dime so that it does not disrupt all of the insane nature. And it's like a God experience when you go on these cruises like that. And the bald eagles are everywhere, and you can hear the glacier breaking at the top, and it falls into the water, and it's just literally a very moving experience. But while you're having this encounter, this experience, and everybody's standing around the deck and they're quiet and they're taking pictures, and all of this is happening, while that's going on, the ship is turning around and you barely notice it. I mean, you do, but it's not, it's so gentle because I feel like there might only be 6 or 7 cruise lines that are allowed to go into Glacier Bay. And so they have to know what they're doing, right? But it's turning around ever so slowly. But my point is that it is turning around. And if you will give yourself a journey, so what if it takes you the next 2 years to become more metabolically flexible? And you had to be consistent and not perfect, but you had to be like, I am finally going to invest in myself because I'm tired of feeling like trash and not being able to create the memories I want to create. All right, I get a little passionate. Oh, Magda says, congratulations, Patty. Fabulous job. I love you guys. Yes. So we all get to celebrate each other's journeys. We all get to celebrate. That's what we get to do. And we do this journey without any shame. So, all right, wrapping up. If you want to be in the group, it's called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. You can ask to get in. The 5-day challenge is every single month. We already started for this week. The replays will be up in the featured section. So we've already done insulin resistance day 1. We did ingredient trade outs day 2. Today we're doing pantry and fridge. Put in your email to get into the group, okay? I do not sell email lists. I'm not spamming anybody, but it is a way for me to notifying people, and it is required to get into the group, okay? Just to let you know. And you can like unsubscribe. It's okay. Like I'm going to send out value. I'm going to send out notifications, or if something launches that you need to know about, I'll just tell you stuff like that, okay? Having said that, that's at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time today. So don't miss out, okay? I'm really excited to see you there. And I hope you got value from this today. And if you did, tell somebody. If you did, share the information. If you did, hit the like button, hit the heart button, do something, because then what happens is it triggers the algorithm on any platform that I'm on, and it will tell people to pay attention to some of this information so it can help them too, okay? All right. Have the best day ever on the face of the planet. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I really love you guys, and I want to see you succeed. So, woohoo! We're doing it together, people. All right. See you later.